Hi guys, and welcome back to Iron Kaiser Gaming. Today, we're watching two of the absolute legends of Age of Empires 2 duke it out. We're on Arabia, and in the blue we have Hera. Now, if you know anything about professional AoE2, Hera needs no introduction. He's won all kinds of tournaments, including Hidden Cup 4. I remember watching those games live. What an incredible series. This is a guy who is always in the conversation for winning the whole thing. He is one of the strongest players in the game and is probably the favorite to win this match. But, on the other hand, in the red we have MbL. MbL is another amazing player of AoE2. He's actually a teammate of Hera's in the clan system. They're both part of Team Aftermath. And MbL is known as the Cockroach. The reason why is because he is a player who refuses to give up. And I remember watching a particular series of his, Red Bull Wololo 5, quarterfinals, MbL versus Hera of all people. The back and forth between those two players in that set was incredible. If you have never watched professional AoE2, pause this video, go to the link below, because I will leave a link to that set. It's like a best of 5 series. An absolutely incredible series. Back and forth between both players. I won't spoil who wins, but it is an incredible series. And we have here on Iron Kaiser Gaming a rematch between these two teammates, these two AoE titans going at it. I figured, since that is my favorite professional set of all time, it'd be worthwhile to, make these two the first pro gamers I ever cast on the channel. So, speaking of, if you know anything about the channel, I tend to focus in more on the noob experience or the average gamer experience. I clock in at around 1100 ELO as of this recording. And, I've got things like my Average Age Plays series, my Noob Cup series. So, I'm not someone who necessarily follows the pro gamers, and I'm always casting pro games, but I do think that we can learn things from them, and we can have a fun time watching the best of the best too. And so this is gonna be really fun. Now, one of the things I'm watching, one of the differences between watching a noob game or even a game at my level or a game at 1300 elo, 1500 elo versus these guys is Hera and MbL have both honed their game to the millisecond. These two, you can watch, like, what is, if I were to pull up the minimap, what is the scout doing? What, why did he choose to get Loom at the, the 13th villager instead of the 14th or whatever it is? These sorts of details are very indicative of the kinds of strategies they're going to be taking. So we've got to pay very close attention to what each player is doing. Now, MbL, one of his favorite strategies is to send his scout running forward to try to capture his opponent's boar early. He'll use the scout, get the boar, and run the enemy's boar all the way back to his base, right? That's why, if you actually see, Hera took both boar early. He normally, like if you're watching one of my games, I would wait for the first boar to be done, or just about done, and then I'd grab my second boar. But if you're playing against MbL, you want to get both boar under your town center as quickly as possible, because if you don't, he's liable to take it from you. Now, this right here is a critical moment. We have Hera queuing up to the Feudal Age on 18 population. That is a very fast Feudal Age. And suggests to me, at the pro level, if you're going up on, 18 vills, then you're likely trying or considering some kind of rush. Now, the fact that he does not have barracks out already suggests to me that it's not going to be a drush or a men-at-arms rush, but he might consider some kind of archer rush. That's what I'm going to guess. With 9 vills on wood, could be a scout rush, but I'm going to guess he's going to do an archer rush. MbL, in the meanwhile, has dedicated quite a few villagers to getting his base walled up. This is a man who, I suppose he senses that a rush of some kind or other is coming, and he does not want to be caught unawares. So this is something that the pro is demonstrating that I need to learn from, and I think I mentioned this in the last video I uploaded, where it is wise to not leave the walling of your base to one villager. But instead take the time, dedicate 2, 3, 4 vills to getting walls up, especially in those critical areas. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of an early fight here between scouts, but I don't think that'll be terribly important. Yeah. Notice how they're going to fight for control of the hill, which, again, MbL has the health lead already, so that was easy. Yeah, it looks like he's going to wall in him pretty well. Here we go. Barracks up, and now Hera not going for a rush. He's actually trying to wall up himself. I'm going to guess, because there was no rush, I've got to ask myself, why would he have queued up at 18 vills? The only thing that makes sense to me has to do with the Persians. So let's go ahead and talk about the 2 civs in the game and how they might be unique. With the Persians, I actually love them. They're one of my favorite civs because they really don't have a lot of flashy, fancy bells and whistles, but the benefits they do bring are incredibly strong. The Persians start the game with 50 additional wood and food, and so there's a lot of extra flexibility, and if you're a newer player or an average player, that extra 50 food and extra 50 wood can help cushion the sort of early eco mistakes that us mortals might make. For someone like Hera, he doesn't really need the cushioning, but what he does need is, he might need that extra food or wood to try some kind of, off-the-wall strategy, right? Uh-oh. What's... Oh, no. Hera caught out with a Vill, and Vill down. This is, again, a situation where, at the professional level, every single Vill makes a difference. Right? We do see Hera's got a couple of scouts out, so he was, trying to go on the offense. Brought them back to deal with MbL's initial original scout. He's got a more value out of his 1 scout than Hera has with his 3. But anyway, yeah, you can pull off some really neat strategies with the additional 50 food, 50 wood. It's a nice bonus. But then on top of that is the Persian town center works faster with every age up. So in the Feudal Age, it takes less time for a Persian TC to... Oh, here we go. What do we got here? Okay, 1 blue scout down in exchange for 1 red spearman. And here we go. MbL is actually going on offense with his original scout and 1 spearman. And all he's trying to do is distract, be annoying. See, he's not even going in for the actual attack. He's just wanting to... Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. Wow, look at how he keeps that scout alive. Oh, and just as I say it. Okay, scout down. He's keeping the eco numbers even, which is actually impressive because, as I was saying, the Persian town center works faster. So, assuming that you have 2 identical players left alone, eventually the Persian TC will accumulate a villager advantage. Hera's up right now, 1 Vill over MbL. It's kind of going back and forth between even and 1 Vill up for Hera. And that's not really found in the idle TC time. Both players are keeping their TCs very productive. It's because Persian TCs work faster. So if Hera was left alone, well, let's see. I mean, he lost a Vill. He would have been up like a Vill and a half by now. It's because of MbL's clever use of a scout. He sort of equalized the numbers for a bit there. As far as an army goes, the Persians are... They have a pretty good cavalry. I would expect to see cav. Their archery range is not that great, but in the Castle Age, they do get a unique technology called Commanderan, if I'm pronouncing that right. And what Commanderan does is it makes their crossbows trash bows. So crossbows no longer cost any gold. You can't go up to Arbalest, you're missing some important techs, but they are, you know, they're trash. They only cost wood. So that's going to be really strong, and they have really nice knights as well. Now, MbL, and we see both players on the way up to Castle Age at almost the exact same time, is playing as the Mongols. They have faster working hunters. So, you know, earlier when in that early eco situation where you're, you know, hunting boar or deer, Mongol players do that faster. They have healthier light calves, so let me see. Yeah, well, right now they're both. Let me actually double check that. That should be. Yeah, light cav, hussars, steppe lancers, 30% hit points. I suppose it's because they're still scout cav. So they don't get the bonus yet because they're scout cavalry, but once they hit the light cav, they have very strong cavalry options. And their cav archers fire 30% faster, if I remember the numbers correctly. And of course, the Mongols get access to the Mangudai, which is one of the classic unique units in the game. Mongols are one of those civs where many players, even at the professional level, will pick Mongols to just go straight Mangudai. They are an extremely strong cav archer with bonus damage against siege units. If you get up enough Mangudai, they are hard to beat. That's probably why we saw Hera building skirmishers, even though, you know, MbL has not shown any kind of archers at all yet. It's anticipation over the possible Mangudai. We have both players. Oh, camels out for the Mongol player. That's kind of cool. I don't typically see camels as an opening move. Camels and scouts. Not at my level. But we're not watching my level. Both players keeping their town centers producing. You know, this is something that I hammer home all the time. In watching the Noob Cup, these numbers can balloon. In watching games at my level, these numbers can balloon. But here, you know, in this world, 10 seconds, you know, is a make or break. And they are both keeping their TCs very productive. Now, Hera has got 3 town centers up, so he's going for a boom. MbL, 2 town centers and a castle. So I think we're seeing the strategic difference. Hera wants to boom. He wants to win this game through a superior economy. So on top of the Persian town center bonus, he's got an extra town center. So I would expect to see these villager numbers swing pretty heavily in Hera's favor. On the other hand, MbL is prioritizing the castle. He is playing the Mongols. I would just about guarantee you, we see Mangudai and we see MbL try to get up a strong army and get military pressure on Hera and win the game early, or win the game first, through a more immediate military presence. Hera's going to try to just build the eco and get up enough of an army to hold on long enough for the eco to win him the game, right? These guys are both experts, so either strategy could win here. I have no idea how this game is going to play out. I don't know who wins it. Right now, I can tell you this. MbL seems to have control of the map. That's, I think, because Hera's looking inwardly. He is hoping to, again, get the eco up. But I would expect that if I expect we're going to see red move out and claim these gold piles and stone piles in the middle of the map first. I'm going to expect red and then blue. We'll see. One of the things that you've got to appreciate about these players, notice how they only build enough units to deal with the situation at hand. You know, like Hera, with the scout rush, for example. Hera got out 3 scouts. MbL's, right now, I think he's at 2 scouts right now. He was at 3. We're not seeing a situation where these guys are needing to mass up 5, 6, 7 scouts in order to do damage. Again, for me, I don't have the sort of control, the micro, over each and every unit of mine that these guys do, and so I need more units in order to make that difference up. But here, both of these players can do so much with 1 scout, 1 spearman. We saw earlier that raiding with 1 scout and 1 spear, no way could I cause as much idle time as MbL was able to pull off. Here we go. Of course, you know, he's also going for the tried and true... Oh, wow, okay, he's deleting walls to chase Mungadai. Mungadai are sort of an... Ooh. Defensive castle. I like it. This is fun. This secures the stone. And also, you can actually see him here. He's going to block off this choke point. It protects his base. It protects the stone. I like it. It's up on a hill. And it doesn't exactly threaten these resources here, but it's awfully close. Hera can use this castle as sort of a base of operations to move forward and harass any potential gold or stone miners here. Oh, monk down. Nice shot. Remember what I said about, you know, red is probably going to claim the center of the map before blue does? Yeah, about that. So, I don't know. I'd have to rewind to see. I'm pretty sure blue brought out his castle before red started building the castle over this way. But right now, looks like Hera's got, you know, military control, or control of the map. He does have, again, we're seeing that eco difference. 100 vils to 80 vils, right? And there is 10 seconds, 15 seconds of idle TC time. So it's really not the idle TC time like it would be in our games. You watch a game of mine and it's one player or the other has let the TC go. Here, it's the extra town center and it's that Persian bonus working in his favor. So we are going to see Hera able to leverage this stronger economy into more well, hang on. Let's see the raids here. Oof. Mungadai down. Okay, so stronger eco for Hera. We're going to see him leverage that eco into pretty sizable army numbers. You know, he's the player with the better economy can field an army quicker. They can field a larger army. They're able to resupply that army. So losses are not as stinging for the player with a stronger economy than for the player with a weaker economy, right? Now, MbL is doing a good job playing catch-up, and we might see both players stabilize at around the same Vil numbers. But for now, Hera's got the lead. MbL has the more expensive army, which in a lot of ways is a better situation to be in. But skirms are the counter to Mungadai. So until MbL comes in, I'm surprised he doesn't have scouts that he could, you know, whip around and catch these skirms out of position. You know, something like that. You need some sort of response. You can't just mass up Mungadai and expect to be able to deal with that. We see Hera producing trebuchets, which is, of course, the right call, a classic call in the Imperial Age. The issue is Mungadai do bonus damage against siege units, including trebuchets. So if he's not careful, the Mangudai swoop in, knock out the Trebs, pull back, and then he'll be the one with trebuchets, and it'll just be a real mess for Hera. So let's see, how does he play this? All right, we see Hera going for knights. MbL with the monk, just sitting there, meditating, living a truly monastic life. You gotta appreciate it. Yeah, here we go. Now Hera is putting the pressure on MbL. And he's got a lot of skirms that are gonna keep... I'm imagining, okay, we've got, yeah, Parthian tactics and chemistry coming in. MbL is waiting for as many techs as possible to come in before he swings forward and engages on his opponent here. I'm just worried. I'm worried for him. He's got 23 Mangudai right now. He's not producing any more. He must be waiting for chemistry. Stalling. But I don't see how... Oh, wait a minute. He's got 35 Mangudai. He's got more elsewhere. Yeah, he must have... Where are the others? Yeah, Elite Mangudai. He's got a couple more. He's keeping this castle up long enough to get Elite Mangudai. So he's going to get the Elite upgrade. He's going to get chemistry. And then he's hoping that the strength of his Mangudai will overwhelm whatever skirmishers, you know, Hera may or may not have. Here we go. Wait. The attack begins. Now, one thing we're probably going to see... Wait a minute. No, I'm wrong. Okay, here we go. He swings in, knocks out these Trebs, that bonus siege damage, or bonus damage against siege, wipes out the attacking force, and then what? Right? Why? So the Trebs are gone. Now what does Hera do? He's kind of back at square one, and you know, I'm surprised that we're not seeing any kind of response to the skirms from MbL. But I suppose his thought process is get the mass of Mangudai up, you know, stall until then, and once you have an unstoppable horde of Mangudai, all I need are, you know, an onager or two, and I can deal with those skirms. That's got to be what he's thinking. Either that or go Scout Cav, right? Which we are seeing. We're seeing scale barding armor coming in, and sure enough, Scout Cavalry in the rear. The Mangudai should be good against Paladin. I think. Right, guys? Come on. What do we got? Yeah, here come the scouts, just to harass, draw fire, be annoying. All right, let's... But what we really want to see, Hera's put a lot of resources into these knights, so we've got to see if... Oh my. If I'm reading the tea leaves right, the Paladins are going down faster than the Mangudai are. But, wait a minute. Yeah, here is the absolute grind. Army versus army. And Hera, I think if we were looking at that battle in a vacuum, MbL won that. But Hera does have the larger economy, and like I was saying earlier, the player with the larger eco is the player who can replenish losses faster. Also, look at this. 56 vils on food for Hera versus 16 vils on food for MbL. Now, that probably means that Hera is priming for one of his favorite strategies. The Hera special is to mass up lots and lots of light cav and go on the offense, raiding and just completely sabotaging his opponent's economy. I expect that we're going to see a lot of light cav. You, of course, also need food for skirmishers. So we're going to see a lot of that here. 3 trebuchets coming out for MbL. So here, we see MbL going on the offense. scouts are good. They're not really a very good head-on unit against Mangudai. He's going to need more skirmishers for that, and I don't know... Oh! Oh, the trebuchets go down. Again, beautiful play. MbL is completely undercutting Hera's ability to, you know, deal with enemy trebuchets with his own trebuchets. He can't really go on the offense. He needs those trebs. I don't remember if the Persians get access to cannon galleon or not. Or cannon galleon. Bombard cannon. Right? Ooh, there is a hole here. If Hera gets up a sizable enough scout force, he could just swing down and... Yeah, scouts go down easy. This Mangudai versus Skirmisher battle is a battle that MbL will win. The issue is you want to make sure that these aren't Pyrrhic victories. You know, trash units are just worth less than gold-intensive units like Mangudai. So if Hera is slowly chipping away at the Mangudai horde, that's a good thing for him. I don't know that he's chipping it away well enough. I feel like Hera has the advantage here. He is converting these small gains into, you know, sizable victories, you know, on the production buildings. That's going to stop Hera from being able to get up those scout numbers that he wants. Hera calls the GG. That's another huge difference at the pro level. I mean, Hera's sitting on 129 vills to MbL's 115. But these guys can read the tea leaves, and they know when their opponent has just hit an unstoppable position. Hera calling the GG, MbL winning this game. This is a really, really fun back and forth and a cool snippet into the way that these pros play the game. Every second matters. The things that you can pull off with one scout here, one spearman there. Why would you tech up at 18 vills versus 20 vills or whatever it was for MbL? I missed the Dark Age timing or the Feudal Age timing, but just some techniques on display that show that these guys are the best of the best. This was a lot of fun to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment if you enjoyed this sort of random pro series. This was not a tournament. There were no great stakes here. It's just two pros playing on the ladder. I thought it'd be fun to cast a random game between these two. So let me know if this is something you enjoyed. Tell me what you'd like to see next. And, you know, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser signing out.